Hey everybody. Hi. Happy Mother's Day. Sunday Night Live. Hi. I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. I feel weird not being in the bathroom. I'm not gonna lie. So let's get started. You guys good? Been waiting all week. Yay! And we'll have this week will be Seattle. It looks like Seattle and Virginia today. Kentucky, love. Okay, so we'll have Monday, Wednesday, Friday night lives at 9. Hi, Connecticut. Brazil. I'm dying to go to Brazil. The Netherlands. I love us. You don't have Mother's Day in England. What the heck? We got to fix that. Memphis, Ohio. I love it. Okay, so hi, South Carolina. Finland. I can't even believe it. I might come to Seattle. Actually, I might be coming to Seattle for a work thing. How fun is that you even asked? Okay. So, y'all know I can stand in my bathroom with no bra on and talk about child labor, no problem. Recovery stuff, I get totally nervous, sweaty, crazy person. Not entirely. I don't know why. I don't know why it makes me all I'm anxious about talking about it. And I don't know why. I'm probably just better talking about child labor with no bra on, but whatevs. Okay. So the main reason I ever just want to talk about it is because I feel like mostly what we hear about addiction, alcoholism stuff is when people relapse, which is scary and sad. So thank you. My granddaddy gave this to my grandmother for their 60th wedding anniversary. And I inherited it when she passed away. But anyway, okay. So y'all know, and I know some of you have heard this before, so I try not be redundant, but I feel like I always tell a little something different every time. And anybody that has any more insight, and again, y'all know I'm not trained in addiction recovery stuff. I'm not a doctor. I just have been sober for 11 years, a little over 11 years. Okay, so the one thing I would say about alcoholism, at least for me, or any addiction, is it's like a symptom of something else, right? I remember them saying, okay, it's not just this was at rehab, them. It's not just about not drinking. Actually, in a lot of ways, not drinking is a lot easier than why were you drinking? And it's like a symptom of things. And for me, I have always struggled with anxiety, depression, ADD. I know it's a shocker. Everybody just sit down and process that. All of those things. And so, I do feel like I definitely have used alcohol as a crutch to treat those symptoms, which, by the way, is not effective. Vodka and Prozac don't really work great together. I used to say to my doctor, honestly, the antidepressant isn't working. And he was like, okay, but are you consuming alcohol? This is before we knew that I was in trouble. So, yay, 5 years sober and 5 years cancer-free. Yes, queen. Happy for you. So, and those of you who've heard my story before, I have another post called Sober is the New Black. I have it on my YouTube channel and I have it in my IGTV. I think it's 4 segments long where I kind of tell a little bit more of the story. And then there's another one where I tell a little bit more of the story. I'll put those in my story so you guys can get to them. 4 years cancer-free. What? And one of the most amazing artists I know, by the way. Hi, Boston. Okay, so I definitely wasn't aware, but was treating all of the things. And I was a single mom. Skylar was, when I went to rehab, he was 9. So it was probably when he was 7 to 9 and I had my own house, but I was stressed and overwhelmed. how am I, if somebody breaks in, how am I going to pay for college? Am I doing this okay? Why am I a single mom? So, I would like put him to bed at night and drink a glass of wine. And then I would just be like, well, you guys know I love some closure. I'll just finish the bottle. I mean, there has never been a corked bottle in my house in my life. There's none of that stored in the fridge crap. It's gone with the wind. So, then I seriously got to where I would drink 2 bottles of wine and don't remember the night. So I started just blacking out. So I didn't know that. But in retrospect, and of course I'm drinking because I'm scared that like I won't be able to manage a situation if somebody breaks in, but then I'm like blacked out on wine. So I'm surely not going to manage it well then. But anyway, okay, so fast forward, go to rehab, and now it's been 11 years. I was in rehab for 6 weeks, I think. I can't totally remember. It was about 6 weeks, and then I came home and I went to an or what's it called, outpatient. Like I would go 3 times a week to these meetings that were very intentional, and then I kind of weaned off of that, and now we're over 11 years, and I never thought I would say that in my life. Swear. So if you feel like it's not possible for you, I promise you, I thought it was not possible for me. Also, on a much brighter note, the mint julep, the Kentucky Derby lip gloss totally matches my dress today. Okay, no, my husband does not drink. Well, he did. He did till he saw me drinking, and then stopped and said, let's not drink. And I'm like, how about you don't drink and I'll drink what you are drinking, and pour me a glass of wine. We'll talk about it tomorrow. So it didn't work great, but he's never had alcohol again. But also he's not an alcoholic, because I'm like, how are you going to not drink? He was like, honey, it's not that big of a deal to me. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Weirdo. Whatever. Okay. So here's something that I think is important to just address is, yeah, he did stop for me. He did. And he's never had any again, thankfully. Bless his heart. Okay, so I recently learned about an app. Hi. I recently learned about an app called Headspace. If you guys haven't heard of that, and I got on there and looked around. I haven't signed up for it, but that is, freak. He's a freak. What's wrong with him? Okay, so that is an app where you can get counseling 24/7. You can download the app and you can talk to someone any time of the day. So I just recently found out about that, and I think that's freaking amazing. It is because where I've been before is not in a good place, and then you finally get to the point where I can't keep on. I'm finally gonna call and make an appointment. Then it's a month out till you see the doctor. It's by the time you need help then, I think. So I just wanted y'all to know about Headspace, because it's so amazing, because you can literally download the app and talk to someone. Headspace or Talkspace. Oh crap. Which one is it? Okay, it's either Headspace or Talkspace. And this is why I should not be a reference on this. It's one of those. It's either Headspace or Talkspace. Help me. Okay, so mainly what I was going to say is, if you have Headspace, okay, thank you. Oh, Headspace is meditation. Talkspace is, I can't. It takes a village. Okay, wait. I think Headspace is the meditation app, which is also kind of cool, but I can't do it. I can't with that. Sitting quietly is not my gig. That is definitely not my jam. But I did download the app and promptly took it right back off. Talkspace is the therapy app. You guys, I can't even, sorry, feel bad. I got it wrong. Okay, but they're both good. But Talkspace is the one that I was talking about. Whoops. Okay. So mainly what I was going to say is, it's Talkspace. Thank you. It's Talkspace. Whoop, whoop. So if you have issues with depression, anxiety, things like that, mental health issues, you've got to address those. I mean, I go to the psychiatrist every 3 months. We call it a well check. We did not always call it a well check. To like touch base, get my meds. I mean, just now I was upstairs. I like put out my whole little pill thing. I map them out so that every freaking morning I have it, ironically, in a shot glass. Do you know what? I never thought about that. I literally have my stuff in a shot. Wait, why do I have a shot glass? Why do I put my meds in it? That's funny. That's kind of ironic. I don't hate that. Okay, maybe I should regroup. Maybe not. Okay, so I really do have like a little shot glass that I put, and that's fine. Is that so wrong? It seems to be working. Okay, so I put my shot glass by my bed every night. So, I mean, I literally, the alarm goes off and I'm like popping shot. Not the same kind of shot that I used to be really good at. Just saying. Okay, so shot glass of pills. I mean, I don't mess around with those pills. And I'm telling you, like, one of my biggest anxieties is like that I will run out of pills and not have the prescription. Because the other thing that happens that is crazy, only because I have done this dark thing, is you oddly, okay, hydrate, thank you. You take the pills and then it's amazing. You start feeling better. So then you think, well, maybe I don't need the pills. I feel like I'm just so much better now. Slight disconnect that it was quite possibly the pills that was helping. But then you take yourself off the pills. I only did this once, and it is the closest I came to taking my own life in my whole life. Because it is not like when you get off of those meds that you go back, like if you were here and then you're a little bit better and you get back, you take yourself off the meds, you don't necessarily go here. Like I went here. So I think if you don't love the meds or feel weird on the meds, and it's hard to get the meds right. Like that is the one thing, do not mess around with. Because I would be like, well, I'll just take a little bit more. Like what the hell? Why did I ever think that was okay? Or I don't need these, like abort mission. Do not manage your own meds, because that is, I would say, for me, been probably the most dangerous thing. I did only do it once, thank the Lord, because y'all know usually I have to do it 5 times effectively to really get it. But it scared me. And so, I mean, I think adjusting your meds is amazing. I think just let your doctor know. And if you're going to get off of something even, and I've had friends that have decided they want to try and get off, but they know how to wean it off. And that's like, you know how I don't follow the directions? I ain't reading the directions. That is the one exception. Follow the doctor's directions on that. Okay. So talk space, headspace, medication, seeing your doctor regularly, like these are all things that are must if that's an issue. Okay, so here's something else. When I first was in recovery, I mean, I even still do it a little bit now. I think everybody probably does. Is everyone is telling you, oh, I'm sorry you lost your person because he didn't take his medicine. It's a life-threatening thing. Okay. So people will tell you all these things, like, you know, if you want to stay sober, you got to get a sponsor, you've got to go to the meetings, you've got to blah, 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 blah. So I like, okay, all the things, doing all the things, have to do all the things, like scared not to do all the things. So over time, I'm like, I don't love some of the things. And then feeling like, well, I don't love the things, but then I'm not recovering. I'm not good at this recovery thing. I'm bad at being sober. How am I bad at being sober? It's true. So, cause like for me, and I hesitate to say this because I think meetings are insanely important for most people. For me, I don't feel like I need to go to a meeting every day. I need to pray, get enough sleep, exercise every day. Those are like, get to church. Those are my things. If I'm not doing, I can quickly get derailed. The nice thing is if I start back doing them, even one of them, I quickly get better. The only time that wasn't true was this last time, if you guys remember, about 2 months ago when things were not great with my husband and I like was doing all the things, and I got real scared because I've never done all the things and not gotten better. And that was when I called the doctor, and he actually added a medicine, and I'm like, wait, I thought I was taking the highest dose. And he was like, well, you are, but we're gonna add a different one. I'm like, oh, so there's hope. There's always hope. And I did get straightened out on that, just on that issue. Okay. So what I was gonna say is, I think you have to find what works for you, and you don't have to be apologetic about it. If you got to find what works for you. It is your recovery, and I think you can own your recovery, and you don't need to apologize for your recovery. And now I'm about to start crying. Why do I cry every time? It's crazy. But anyway, you have to know what's right for you and not beat yourself up, because I really did truly go through a chapter of like, I'm actually bad at recovery, but I don't want to go to an AA meeting today. And sometimes it's hard to find a meeting that's like a good fit too. Just that's a whole other talk. Okay. So here's the other thing I will say. I hope it gives you hope. That's why I'm sharing it, because it is hard for me to share, and I don't know why. It shouldn't be. But, okay. So here's the other thing. Especially early in recovery, literally, your goal is not to drink. So I'd walk out of a freaking grocery store with half the things in it. I'd turn my car around. I would leave places. I would cry. I can't even remember half the crazies. But whatever in the hell fire you have to do to stay sober is what you do. And if that is the only thing you do that day, then you've won, just to stay sober. So you have to just literally, like for me, I know I've said this before, and I do not say this to be like a drama queen about it. I say this because I promise from the bottom of my heart, I will not survive a relapse. I will not survive a relapse. So that's a good thing for me to know. Y'all know I'm all about it's all going to be big, loud, fast, dramatic, and I will burn up in a hot minute. I will be so ashamed that it would be over fast. So really, literally, my life depends on my recovery, period. It's not an option for me. It is not an option for me. So if you frame it like that, it's like, okay, it is literally life or death, Natty. It's me talking to myself. You do whatever the hell you have to do today to stay sober. That's what you're doing, and you're not going to apologize about it. You don't have to explain to nobody. Just don't drink. So anyway, I'm just and there are days where, especially earlier for me, where, I literally I think that's literally the only thing I can do today is just not drink. And recovery is so hard, but the pride that you get in getting through putting days together of not drinking is unlike anything you can imagine. And you know how hard it is. So I'm so proud of myself, because I know I've literally fought. I still do. I've had to fight for this. And I know how hard it is. And I'm a pretty tough cookie. So there's no way you can't be proud of yourself for that. Also, because Skylar is always so proud of me, which totally also completely changed my mindset of all of it. Okay. So here's another thing. Physical cravings, not as much a physical craving, sort of physical craving. I miss it. 14 years sober and still crave it. And so here's one thing that happens. It's actually the next thing on my list. It kind of touches on this. Is it's easy to romanticize it. I'll have thoughts where I'm I wish I could go. I know my girlfriends are all going to margaritas and chips and salsa. I'm really crying because I can't have carbs right now. And I'm just said chips out loud. Okay, just kidding. Only a little bit kidding. But anyway, so like, I mean, the other night there was a dinner party and it ended up being like a wine tasting. And it's like, oh my gosh, I have 6 wine glasses in front of me. Like, and it makes me, I feel uncomfortable and I don't know why. And then you feel kind of left out and I'm like, okay, what's happening? That was the night I was in the jumpsuit and went to the bathroom and got stuck in the bathroom. So it really, I saved myself. The jumpsuit got me out of that. It saved me. So we're back to loving jumpsuits. Oh, yay, your husband, he's had 2 relapses before that. But 1 year now, girl. Yes. Go, hubby, go. Okay. So it's mainly what my point is. It is so easy to romanticize it, where I'm like, oh, I remember when we would go out to dinner and we would have like red wine. And I love red wine. And I love vodka. Like, how fun are Bloody Marys? Okay, they are fun. But when I drink Bloody Marys, I drink till I wasn't nice and slurred and shouldn't have driven home. So I remember, like, it's easy to remember the romantic part. Like, sure, it's fun to have champagne at weddings. I always drank till I blacked out and probably said something inappropriate, or just drank too much. So I try and really, it sounds kind of crazy, but like, no, not vodka. Oh my God, I love everything. I love beer. I love vodka. I do love vodka. I love tequila. I mean, there's not much I don't love. All the things. Champagne. Anyway, not enough to lose my life over it. But anyways, wait, what was I just saying? I can't remember. Oh, so I really do truly, like, pretty early on in my recovery, have a couple things that I would seriously consider having, I say, like, in your back pocket, that you always not try and think of it once you're in the situation where you're considering making a bad choice. Like, decide today what those things are. And I've told you guys before, that mental picture of Skylar, 9-year-old little blonde hair, Easter egg hunting in that fenced in thing at rehab. And I was like, this is it. This is fine for this Easter. He is never doing this again. And I mean, that is seared. Him little had been over picking up Easter eggs. I just thought, that's never happening again. And you need to remember this right now, so that if you accidentally get on the damn wine aisle in Publix, you need to whip that shit out. So I carry that in the back of my pocket at all times, because there's something about that moment for me that was really pivotal. And I mean, you see, it's like I'm back there. I literally can see him. It's like just we were there. And that picture in my mind was too much. So have some things like that. Have some things of, like, remembering myself falling off a damn bar stool, or like saying something inappropriate. Like, for me, it is important to have, don't remember the romantic things. Have a couple of the things that you think about that are your worst things. You don't even have to tell people, but I know that sounds sort of like self-abusive, but it's not. For me, it's not. It's really like, okay, you don't want to be that girl. Like, and have it ready, like back pocket ready. And on the flip side of that, also have, and I'm talking about like 2 or 3, that's all you need. Cause usually once I do the first one, I'm usually kind of back from the edge, maybe even 2. So, the other is, like, find the thing, like the time when I came down the stairs and Skylar was telling his friends, he was bragging to his friends about me being sober. No, we don't have any alcohol in this house. None. Yay, a surprise live. So, and literally bragging to his friends, like, my mom's sober. She's amazing. And I'm like, wait, he's proud of me? I can't even get over this. This is crazy town. So that, standing on the landing of my stairs and hearing him say that in middle school, that was another moment. So that's another back pocket moment where I'm like, you can hear him say that. You play that tape. My mom is sober and I'm so proud of her. And he always says, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Mom, it's a big deal. Go get your poker chip. It's a big deal. I can't. So those few things, like, have them accessible and quick draw McGraw. I don't know how it is engraved in your memory. I don't know how, like, okay, so that gets me to the next thing. For me, you really, really, really need to have a person, I think, that is in recovery. If not a person who is in recovery, somebody who really gets it, who you can just be like, because you're crazy. We addicts, hi mama. Like, alcoholics and addicts are crazy, and you see things differently, and you have sometimes these crazy thoughts, and like, you need to have somebody else that understands that you really can just be like, I am having the wackiest day. Can you understand this? And really, I think only other people who are in recovery can understand it. So I just think it is essential to have a sponsor or a friend or a spouse or whatever it is, but somebody who either is not drinking, does not drink, or is really understands recovery. So Skylar is 20. He'll be 21 in October. He does not drink. And he has said before, Mom, I would never drink around you. I mean, I'm okay being around alcohol. So that doesn't bother me, but he just feels like out of respect, he wouldn't do that, which I appreciate that. He has, unlike his crazy mama, Skylar has an incredible amount of respect for, well, everything, and definitely for alcohol. So I really don't worry about him with that. Thank goodness. I mean, I could, but I've seen enough of him to know that I'm not, okay. Do I go to meetings? So I don't if anybody ever asks me to go to a meeting, I will go. And I've had a couple really hard things happen in the last couple years where I got sort of scared and needed to go to a meeting, and I always feel better. One thing is, and I'll just say quickly about this, because really we could have a whole other talk on. Like, when I went to rehab, it was in Gainesville, Florida. And they had, I went to the Shands Hospital. They have a great recovery center. But I live in a small town about an hour and a half south from there. So when we were in Gainesville, they took us on shuttles. Like, every day we had to go to a meeting. And they would take us, like, there were mom meetings. There were just women meetings. There were, like, all these different, and it's in a college town. It's tons of, like, cool people. So, I mean, I was like, these meetings are amazing. And then when we went back, this is a dress actually, and I got it from TJ Maxx. Okay. So, but thank you. So when I got back to my hometown, I looked up for the meetings. There's like one, they're very few. And the one is in like a really scary part of town. And I felt so out of place there. I kept going because I was scared. Like I was telling you guys before, I don't even think I'm recovering right. I don't even know how to be sober right. But I really got to where I did not enjoy the meetings. I didn't feel like I really belonged there. And so that was kind of why I stopped mostly going. And I remember I used to just think, oh my gosh, why don't we have cool meetings here? I wish I had like a mom's meeting or, professionals meeting, or that was hard. Like it was in Gainesville where it was so cool. So, and I will say this too, honestly, like I talk about this with you guys because I just hope it helps somebody. That's why. But I don't really want to talk about it every day for an hour. Does that make sense? Like, it's not, my sobriety is a part of who I am, but it's not all of who I am. So I want to treat it with respect. And, but I also feel like everything I do reflects back to my recovery. I mean, when I get up and go work out, oh, Sarah, there's my bestie, who's the other another huge part of the reason I'm sober. So like when I go work out, I'm like, I don't want to go, but I want to stay sober. So it's always in my life. So it's not like it's not a part by not going to the meetings. But okay, I got a little bit sidetracked, because what I was also going to say is most towns have tons of meetings, and you may go to like 6 different meetings and not like any of them. And then you go to the 7th one, you're like, oh my gosh, I love it here. So don't give up on the first meeting. If you're going to a meeting, look around and keep trying. It's insane how many meetings there are on this planet at any given time. I mean, they're on the cruise ships. Okay, wait, what else? Okay. A few other things, and I know I've said these before. Like I part of the reason I drink is I have some social anxiety, and I need to drink a cocktail before I go. Right. It's like finding a church that fits. So I still, like, even if I'm going to something, like in 2 nights, going to dinner or something, I will sit in my car and literally be like, you got this, Natty, you got this. I mean, it's like a thing. It's still a thing. Like, just talk to everybody, just be normal. This conversations I have with myself in the car. I do occasionally drink mocktails. I mean, I'm happy to drink mocktails. But what I was going to say is, one thing, I used to get panicked, like, I can't go there. I don't know if I can go, and I'm going to be weird, and what if I can't go? And, like, my husband would be like, babe, we leave. And I'm like, well, we can't leave. We just get to the party. And he was like, so we leave. I'm like, oh, okay. Good call. So I started like, okay, I'll go. And I would maybe stay for 5 minutes and then be like, I'll be in the car. Love you. Bye. Okay. So fine. No problem. And once I gave myself permission to leave, then I was like, okay. And I mean, leave, like, I need to say bye to the hostess. I don't feel bad. Bye. Gone. Just get out of there if you can't be in there. It made me feel better about staying, and I'd be more likely to stay. And now I can actually stay more like a normal person. But I still always like park my car where I'm like, okay, but I can't be trapped here. If I need to park where like I can get out, I need an exit strategy. And true story, I will take, like, if I know we're going somewhere and there's probably not even gonna be Diet Coke, then I will straight put 3 Diet Cokes in my purse. No problem. Not even a little bit sorry about it. Okay, the other thing that's really, 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 really hard is a more general thing, and it's about saying no. I'm not good at that. I really like to say, yes, of course, absolutely. How quickly can I get back to you? How much can I be a perfectionist and overperform? I cannot freaking wait. Of course I'll do it. Abort mission. So I used to say yes to everything, and I would put an incredible amount of pressure myself on everything. And then I feel like I'm treading water and it's getting in my mouth to where I feel like I'm drowning. So that's like what I was talking about earlier when I was saying, like, the not drinking in recovery is maybe the easiest part of recovering because the really hard part is like, crap, what did I do to make me feel like I needed to drink? Like, I have to not do those things. So it's like being proactive so that you don't back yourself in a corner. Because I used to actually physically feel backed in a corner, even though I wasn't. I mean, but I like had a vision of like me in a corner, everything pushing and trapped. And then I'd be like, I can't handle this. I need a glass of wine. And that's how I coped with it a lot. So what I really have to do is all the crap that's pushing me in the corner has to go away. They have to go away unapologetically, which brings me back to the thing where it's like my life depends on it. I don't care if I hurt somebody's feelings. I'm not helping with Bible school this year. I would love to do it. It's too much. It will jeopardize my fragile recovery, because as strong as I feel, it really truly is still fragile, and I have to protect it. And I'm like, you know what? If I offend people in the women's group because I can't go, right now I cannot go. And you have to just let it go. It's like, for me, my recovery comes first, because without it, there's nothing else. So if that's not okay, there is literally nothing else under that. So it's kind of liberating. I'm sort of like, you know what? Compromises my recovery. Nope, I'm good. It makes it much easier on me to say no. And I have had to be insanely more forgiving about being a perfectionist. You guys see, I'm crazy. I'll spend 15 minutes trying to get my lashes separated. I mean, it's still there. Let's not kid ourselves. It's not going anywhere. But I can at least now catch myself and be like, okay, you're being crazy. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, but I don't care. And I want my lashes split. That's usually what you guys see. But on a bigger scale, I'm like, okay, you're being crazy. And you're going to let it down. You're going to put it down. You're not going to make the cookies from scratch. You're not going to, overdo the event, like whatever it is. I mean, these are all things that I literally still deal with every day. I'm not saying I've got it figured out. I understand what I'm doing and can check myself better, but it's not like I'm not still facing all these obstacles, because I am. Okay. Here's another thing. You're speaking my life. Finding things that are your thing. So like I was saying to you guys, when I get in for me, it's all about darkness and lightness. It always has been. I think that's some of that, like the depression and anxiety stuff. It's a light, dark thing. So when the dark starts creeping in, and it's gradual, but then about here, I start going, wait, it's getting dark. wait. I gotta correct some things. And usually when it starts getting dark, I'm not exercising. I'm staying up late watching something other on TV. I'm not going to church. Like, I probably haven't called my best friend. Like, these are the things. And I'm like, okay, you need to do these things. Call Sarah, go work out, get a good night's sleep, go to church on Sunday. Usually if I correct 2 of those things, I am within a week back, like the light is coming back. The darkness recedes, okay? So those things aren't going to be your things, but like find your things. Find the things that kind of feed your soul. I mean, I love working in the yard, because I feel about gardening, it's like hopeful. Every time you plant something, it's like, we're going to hope that this is going to flower and grow into something. I also think it's just good for you to dig in the dirt. But like, find something. Do things you love, and find the things that help you. And another thing for me, it's not just exercise. It's like going to the class, because I'll stay home in my crazy head for days. And I don't like, this is mean, I'm going to say something not nice. I really don't like people a lot of the time. And I don't want to chatty Cathy and high five people in my exercise class in the morning. I really don't. I don't even want to make eye contact with people. I just want to go in there and work out and come home. But I'm too embarrassed not to high five when the teacher says you have to high five. Like this morning, I high fived the girl next to me. I'm like, damn it, 5. And she had the prettiest smile on her face. It was like, I hope you have a great day. And I'm like, oh, that was nice. She was really nice. I kind of want to be her friend. And yeah, introverted extrovert, like major. So, but my main point is, but I do go get out of the house, get out of the crazy head, go to the exercise class, and like I have to be nice. I have at least enough manners that I can be nice. And you kind of fake it till you make it, and it's not a bad thing. And I always feel better. Okay. Let me think. So one other thing, which is kind of hard to talk about, except I think it's really important. Having gone through some hard things in my recovery that I thought would be things that would end my recovery, that didn't. I learned some serious things. Also, grief is crazy. And so dealing with those things, like, stuff happens when you're sober. It's not like you just float along and things are hunky-dory. Like, life is still hard. Beauty is still hard. But here is what I learned. Pain, emotional pain, to heal from the hurt, you have to feel the pain. There is no way under the pain, there is no way over the pain, and there is no way around the pain. You have to go through the pain. You can postpone the pain. I've done that. Put it off. But to actually heal, and I do truly believe humans cannot heal from pain until they feel the pain. Okay, I don't like to feel pain. I'd rather have a glass of wine and put it on a book like Queen of Denial, Cleopatra, Queen of Denial. I'd like to just put that in a box and put it up in the attic, and we'll work on that. Never. Here's what I started to learn. Once you feel the pain, oh, I'm sorry you lost your ex-husband. I'm sorry. Once you feel the pain, you start to heal. I'm not making it up. There is an end to the pain. For me, has what been my experience. It is horrible. It is dark, but you can move through it, move forward through it. So once I learned that, now what I feel about pain is like almost grateful, because it means I'm healing. So like dealing with the stuff with my husband, the pain will not kill you. Like my husband's health issues, this is most recent hard thing. So I'm grieving. I'm grieving every day because I've lost so much of him, and it's getting harder. And the old me would have said, you know what? Buckle up, buttercup, like pull it together. You're a strong Southern woman and you carry on, Those days are gone. Like when the pain comes, I feel the pain. I will cry in the car. I will cry on aisle 9 in Target. I really, really, really try to move through the pain. I don't want to bottle it up at the bottom. I don't want to have to go through. I'm going to have to go through it. If I cannot heal without going through it. So I really, really, really try and work through the pain. And the good news about this is the good news, is that means pain is progress. Pain is progress. So it makes you feel grateful. That is, I know, one of the probably screwiest things I've ever said. Clearly not. But I have learned that pain equals progress. That's huge. So it's okay that I cry in the car every day. Pain, #pain is hard. I mean, I probably do cry in the car every day. And now I'm like, you know what? This is okay because we're moving through this. We are healing and we are making all the feels. We are making progress. So if that's helpful to anyone at all on any level, it was a huge epiphany for me. So pain is progress. I mean, I say that to myself once a day when I get, like, here's the other thing. It makes you feel like, especially dealing with grief where you don't feel like you're in control of your emotions, and it hits you hard, it hits you, sideways, it hits you unexpectedly, and it hurts. It hurts like crap. And you feel like you've been hit, like you're a victim. But it really, if you can turn it around like, okay, well, that came out of nowhere, but we're going to feel it. and we're going to work through it. And it's okay. Like, I'm actually being proactive by crying. I'm not being weak. I'm actually being strong and proactive. It's all this head game stuff, that I play with myself. But it really has helped me deal. And I'm trying with my husband to grieve as I go. And I'm sure that I'm not doing incredibly perfectly with it, but I do feel like I'm doing much better than I would have if I had never learned that. Okay, I don't know if that's helpful. I don't even know if that makes sense to you guys, okay? Hashtag crazy talk. I'm sorry that I cannot read all these because I know I'm missing some stuff. Okay, so I guess another huge part of it is just, it's all in line with what I was just saying, is accepting change and like that let go and let God. And in my life, the more I've tried to manage or hold on or pull back or, keep the things you love close, the more likely you are to lose them. So it's like sets you free to let things go. Like, I believe the closest people to happiness are the people that can accept change. And change is inevitable. Change for good, change for bad, it's coming. It's happening all the time. So kind of going with the flow, as hokey as that sounds, I just try and don't try and hold on and grip. Like, I have to let him go. I have to let Skylar go. It's hard. But kind of letting them go releases you from that, because holding on doesn't keep them, and I think often drives them away. I don't know if that's helpful. I don't even know. I hope some of this makes sense to somebody. Okay, so the last thing, and I've said it before, and it's kind of cheesy, but it's been a lifesaver, is when I first got in recovery, I resented it. I felt left out. I felt weird. I felt angry. I felt ashamed. I felt a lot of things. I also felt proud because I was still not drinking. But at some point, and I think it had, I'm sure, a lot to do with when Skylar was like, Mom, you should tell your story. It will help other people. Bless his ever loving, ginormous heart. Was I started to realize that I treat my sobriety like a superpower. Since I have been sober, my life has changed. My life has changed for the better. I've changed for the better. And I've been able, all the things that I used to kind of self-sabotage, screw up, those things have gotten out of the way. And it's like I can move forward. And instead of feeling like, oh, I'm so sad that I don't have a cocktail at this party, what I really feel like is, you go, girl, because you're going to remember this whole party. You are not going to fall. You are not going to embarrass yourself on the dance floor. Like, you actually have an edge. So maybe, and I'm not saying that passing judgment on people who drink by any means, because I was one of them and I was really cute when I did it. Not cute. Not at all. But I had sort of this epiphany of like, wait, maybe it's actually now my strongest thing is that I don't drink, and how cool that I'm free from that to be my best self. And that is no longer a thing. And maybe the reason I can do all this stuff is because I'm not drinking. So it sounds crazy, but I don't even remember what made me kind of have that flipping of switches. But once I started thinking about that, it actually giving me an edge, it's empowering. It's super empowering. I'm like, what? Y'all wish y'all had some sober, because what I can do now and compared to what I would be doing otherwise, and then you're like, oh snap, I got 6 months sober. You cannot know how proud that feels until you do it. And then that's kind of addicting. Watch me get addicted to being addicted to not being addicted. Stranger things have happened. So that whole thing, it's self-perpetuating and not living with that guilt and shame and sneaking and hiding and all the things, even just lying to yourself, even if you're kind of pulling it off. Like I wasn't pulling, I knew better. I knew better. I just didn't know how to get there from here. So mainly what I would just say is if that helps you guys at all of thinking of like a superpower, I say that to myself probably once a day where I'm like, girl, you know you got this because you sober and free. So if that is addicted to lip gloss, what makes you say that? Wait, I do love this lip gloss. And I hope it's not just out for the Kentucky Derby. How cute is it with this dress? Makeup magic right there. Okay, so that's all I got. It was probably a lot. I hope it's helpful because I love you guys and it can be discouraging. And I hope if I can help in any way, reach out to me because life is short, buy the lipstick. Because I want to help you guys any way I can and answer questions and things. You know, I don't, some of the questions I get are not, they're really more like addiction people questions. And so I'll defer you guys to that when I feel like that's better. And if there are other things about recovery that you have questions, just like send me topics and say, I'd love to hear about blah. Because I'll be happy to talk about it. Anything that seems like it might help. Hashtag smother mother. Okay, I love you guys. I don't even think I officially ugly cried. Did I? I mean, winning. I mean, maybe I did a little bit. I think I had a moment. Not as ugly as sometimes. Okay, I love you guys. I hope you're having a really good Mother's Day. Thank you for tuning in. And we're going to do something really fun tomorrow night. I don't know what it is. I just feel like it's going to be magical, though. I mean, I'm like, seriously. One of these days, I'm going to buy the Dyson hair thing. It's just I have to sell my car. Love you guys. Y'all are the best. Have a good Sunday.